So we had the DNC chair race over the weekend. How'd that turn out? If you're a progressive, I would argue not well. The establishment candidate in the race is Tom Perez. Now, we hear from the establishment nonstop that, no, he's a great liberal. He's a wonderful progressive. Now, is Tom Perez a dyed-in-the-wool conservative? No, of course not, right? Has he done some positive movement in the Labor Department when he was Obama Secretary of Labor? Yes. At the same time, is he a true progressive? I would argue no. He is coming from the establishment wing of the party. In fact, Keith Ellison seemed to have this race locked up, didn't have any major opponents. Even Chuck Schumer had backed him right in the beginning. And then news reports came out that the Obama White House, and back then they were, of course, still in charge, decided, no, Keith Ellison's too liberal. Oh, it's from the Bernie wing. We don't like that. No. We need someone who's from the corporate wing. Now, they don't claim that they're the corporate wing. They take corporate cash, and then all of a sudden they do policies that are in favor of corporations. But no. They're just a centrist, reasonable wing. I don't find your corporate positions reasonable at all. Neither do a lot of other people. So he was sent in, and there's been a lot of great pieces written about Tom Perez's actual record. When he was in the Justice Department, he did not prosecute bankers that he could have, who were going after veterans and doing something illegal, foreclosing on their houses while they were away fighting in wars. But he chose not to use his power. He goes over the Labor Department, similar ability to go after the bankers and not let them run our pensions if they're involved in an illegal activity like setting interest rates globally, which they all admitted to, but he gave them our pensions anyway. Trans-Pacific Partnership, he was in favor of it. There's a corporate-backed thing that needed Tom Perez. Tom Perez was there. I know I'm the bad guy for pointing out his actual record. Now, the rest of the media will only focus on things like, well, he fought for higher wages while at the Labor Department. Wow! How progressive of him. I mean, if you don't do that as a Democratic Secretary of Labor, what do you do? Okay, so he's sent in by Obama and starts getting establishment backing. And then all of a sudden, there's a whisper campaign about Keith Ellison. Oh, did you hear what he wrote in the 1790s? He once wrote an article that said this. Oh, he once supported Farrakhan. Now, he totally does not at this point, has renounced them, has all these different Jewish American groups behind him. Oh, whisper. Oh, Ellison, no. They never do those campaigns against Republicans. But when they're running against a progressive, all of a sudden the Democrats in the establishment are very strong. Then they could do hatchet jobs. They could do whisper campaigns. They could smear people. They could send people on TV like Alan Dershowitz as if he's a person that any Democrat actually cares about. Like, oh, I will be leaving the Democratic Party. Who gives a damn, Alan? Who the hell are you? But it scares people that are voting in the DNC. Now a lot of those folks are also part of the party, right? Oh my God, people might be leaving the party. I heard Ellison's had a problem back in the 1690s. He once wrote a pamphlet that was wrong or something when he was a student in kindergarten. Oh my God, Now where did that all start from? By the way, I'll give you an answer. It started with Obama, because Obama does not like the Bernie Sanders faction in the party. Because he's the opposite. He backed Hillary Clinton 100%. The banks were his top donors in 2008, and look at that. They got the bailout with no strings attached. Nobody prosecuted. Perez didn't prosecute them. Eric Holder didn't prosecute them. Nobody prosecuted them. And then, I wonder why he's touchy about it. So, a couple of rounds of voting. First round of voting, oh, look at this, a very close election. Tom Perez, 2013, 213.5, whatever that means, and 200 for Keith Ellison. Second round of voting, and it's over. He gets the majority. Tom Perez, 235. The other 21.5 came in for Tom Perez, none for Keith Ellison. Now, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. Some of the Ellison voters might have switched over to Tom Perez. Okay, so if I was Keith Ellison, and what I'm going to ask him to do in a second is that I would immediately not join the people who just put a hatchet in your back. Okay, but maybe you can say he's a better man than I am or a classier man than I am, but Tom Perez offers him the deputy chair position at the DNC. He takes it. Now, the deputy chair position is made up. It right now has no power whatsoever. Didn't even exist. And in an article later, they pretty much bragged about how they wanted to put him forward as the face of the party. not what's actually going to happen in the party. The corporate cash is going to keep on flowing in. But we're going to put out Bernie Sanders and Keith Ellison as the face of the party, while behind the scenes we continue to do everything we used to do. By the way, our reporter, Nomi Costa, has been covering the race. And in fact, she was so all over it that she took these pictures just a little before the election. What was it, about a week or so before? That's Keith Ellison and Tom Perez dining together. So I don't know if that's where they struck the deal that, hey, if I win, you'll be the deputy chair, and if you win, I'll be the deputy chair. I don't know, and we didn't have hidden mics in there, but they were two politicians talking about what kind of deal that could be had. Okay, it is what it is. Now, let's give you a little bit more background about, before I tell you what action I want you to take and what we're going to ask Keith Ellison to do. I want to give you a little bit more background. Here's Huffington Post. Several top Obama administration figures continue to call DNC voting members on Perez's behalf until the very end, according to a DNC member with knowledge of the matter. So there they are, the Obama guys. So they didn't want Ellison. He's too progressive. Nope. And then it worked. So there's a New York DNC member, Jay Jacobs. They ask him. He says, well, we had a sense, I think this is what a lot of folks had a sense, that this would shift the party too far to the left. I wonder how they got that thought in their head. It was planted there by the establishment. So, oh, be afraid of Ellison. No, he's too far to the left. Too far to the left in what? Okay, name a policy position that Keith Ellison had that was too far to the left. The reality is the establishment Democrats never named that position because then they'd get caught being right-wing. They didn't want to do that. So what did they do? They made it personal. So, oh, maybe he's anti-Semitic, based on charges from decades and decades ago that have already been litigated and relitigated and proven to be not correct. It doesn't matter. On policy, he's right, I'm wrong. What am I going to do? I got to smear him. And somehow it gets in Jay Jacobs' head. Too far to the left. He also says, I don't think that Keith was helped by the people in the back of the room. I heard from numbers of people, particularly after it was over, that the nastiness, just the over the top, was turning off a number of people. Why? Again, the same charges before. They were cheering too loudly for Keith Ellison. Remember what happened in Nevada? Oh, you guys are too loud. Now, if you don't say anything or you don't do anything, they say, oh, you see, you cost us the election by staying at home. Oh, you did nothing. It's your fault. It's your fault you didn't do enough. Now, was Bernie Sanders the candidate? No. In the general election. Were his staffers or his followers in charge? No. The exact opposite. But somehow, no, you're to blame. You should have voted. It was my presidency. You should have voted for me more. Now you do act up. You're in the game. No, you're too loud. Too loud. It was too boisterous. What's the right answer? There is no right answer because they want to keep taking the corporate cash. They don't care what you do. It isn't about that at all. So, in fact, it was quite literal. The chair race was not the only thing that was voted on. Nomi did a fantastic job of covering all the votes for us on Facebook.com/TheYoungTurks all day on Saturday. Another vote was the DNC members rejected a resolution introduced by California DNC member Christine Pelosi that would have reinstated Obama's ban on lobbyist donations to the DNC. Now, that is a tiny, tiny request. Obama's ban on lobbyists was actually fairly narrow and not that big a deal. They still took plenty of corporate cash in many different areas. And this, Christine Pelosi's resolution was actually even narrower than Obama's. Still, the DNC voters were like, no. I need the corporate cash. Hit the main vein. I need that corporate cash. That's how you lost the election, because you're seen as the corporate party, as the establishment party, as the status quo party. Trump actually outdid you on populism. You haven't learned a goddamn thing. So, no, in order to fight Trump, we should be more pro-corporate. No, you should be the opposite. Jesus Christ. Okay, now, there's one other thing that Nomi pointed out throughout the race, so let me quote her piece for us on Medium. She said, former chair candidate, New Hampshire State Chairman Ray Buckley, broke the news during the Phoenix DNC forum that as an executive member, he had never seen the budget and that most leaders of the DNC, as well as all of the members, had no idea where the record amount of money raised was being spent. So they raise hundreds of millions, in fact, billions of dollars. But at the DNC, they never tell you where the money's going. Well, that's interesting. So that's part of what was happening in this race. It wasn't just progressives versus the establishment. It was the state parties, that's why the race was so close, saying, hey, Can I get some of that money so that I can hire people and do some grassroots organizing, whether I'm in Kentucky or I'm in California? And look, right now the Connecticut State Senate is divided. That's not even blue. Can I get some money to go knock on doors to build a party so I could actually win elections? No. We're going to spend most of the money at the national level. And even if you're an executive member of the DNC, we're not going to tell you how much the consultants are taking. Because I got news for you. It's a lot. And those consultants, a lot of them made calls for Tom Perez. Nomi's piece at Medium, medium.com/The Young Turks. Go read it. They made calls for Tom Perez. Look at that. The lobbyists taking money from corporations were in favor of Tom Perez. What a wild coincidence. And at the same time, Tom Perez was the one guy, she asked the same question of all the people running, the one guy who was most evasive. Well, we are for openness and transparency. Yeah. Are you going to show us how much commission the consultants get? What is the number? What is the percentage? How much money goes to that? We will look into transparency. Okay, hey, look, they say unify. Great, Tom. You're in charge now. Show us the money. Show us what the consultants get, and then you'll earn credibility. No. Just fall behind me. I don't need to earn your trust. I don't need to earn credibility. I was sent out from up above from Obama and the corporate guys. No. You do have to earn that trust. Right now, no, we don't trust you. Show us where the money's going. More from Nomi's piece. The DNC, which lacks an open budget, has been allocating dozens of multi-million-dollar contracts without accountability from its members and leadership. The money, of course, did not go into state parties and organizing, and the majority of members I've interviewed, she explains, expresses resentment and frustration. Unsurprising. So they say, but what can we do? People actually stood up and made passionate pleas for taking corporate money. Like, what's the alternative? Here, it's very simple. Bernie was on TV just the other day. Very quick synopsis, gives you a sense of what the alternative is. Let's watch.
Total transformation. We've got to open up the party to working people, to young people, and make it crystal clear that the Democratic Party is going to take on Wall Street. It's going to take on the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. It's going to take on corporate America that is shutting down plants in this country and moving our jobs abroad.
Not that hard. Now, I know what they think. Oh, no, we couldn't possibly do it without the big donors. Well, Bernie did it. He raised about $250 million from small donors. Justice Democrats is doing it right now. That's the non-corporate wing, the actual strong progressive wing of the Democratic Party, justicedemocrats.com. So we've raised a lot more money than anybody ever thought we would because it's all small donors. It's all you guys. We've had 4,000 people nominated, real citizens, nominated to run against these corporate Democrats. 70 of them have gone through 4 rounds of vetting already. We are coming. We will challenge the Democratic establishment. We will not accept corporate backing as de facto must-have in order to run races. No, that's what destroyed the Democratic Party. That's what led to grotesque incompetence. So what happened? They lost the White House to a guy who had a 37% popularity rating on the day of the election. The most unpopular guy who's ever run for president, they lost to him. They lost the Senate, they lost the House, they lost the Supreme Court. They lost 69 out of 99 state legislatures. And then they come in and double down. Oh, we got this. They lost over 1,000 seats at the state level since 2009. And you double down on that strategy? You think we don't know what we're doing because we're taking small donors? No, you don't know what you're doing because you keep taking those big donors, and now the American people associate you with corruption and a pro-big business multinational corporation agenda that they do not agree with. But you think you're so clever. You're the one with record-breaking incompetence. Okay, so did this trick of, hey, Tom Perez won, but the party's not unified. Did it work? Let's go to Martise Chisholm. She's a National Nurses United board member and part of the DNC. She said about the deputy chair title given to Ellison, it's just a made-up title. You think giving him a little title is going to please us? It's not. It's a slap in the face. Now, why are they doing this at all? Why bother even trying to appease progressives? Because in the past they certainly haven't. Well, here is your actual goal. Go to Huffington Post to explain. Democratic Senate leaders, meanwhile, are pleading with Sanders to direct grassroots protest energy toward Republicans rather than Democrats deemed insufficiently progressive. In other words, come on, just let us keep taking that sweet corporate cash. Don't look to us. Trump, bad guy, Trump. I know you tried that strategy last time and it didn't work. So it's not that we don't want to go after Trump. Are you nuts? It's that we're never going to let you run against Trump again because you don't know what you're doing. And you endanger the republic, you endanger the world by losing to that guy, and we're not going to let you do it again. JusticeDemocrats.com. So I have a very specific request of Keith Ellison, the Justice Democrats do, and we're asking you to back it up. Sign this petition saying, Keith Ellison, please leave the DNC. They do not have progressives' best interests in mind, and they are going to use you to be the face of the movement, but not the brains of the movement, not the ideas of the movement, and certainly not the substance and the action of the movement. So please leave the DNC and come and look, we believe in you. The petition is extraordinary. We're asking you to be the chair of the Justice Democrats. So now that's on Keith Ellison. I know it's a big ask. And no, we have not talked to him, and likely he will go and continue to do his plan. But it's on us to take action. It's on us to make that ask. So I hope that he joins us. So go to justicedemocrats.com/Ellison to sign that petition. justicedemocrats.com/Ellison. We'll, of course, have the link for you below as well. And let's go up and at him. Stop wasting any more time letting these establishment Democrats run races which they have shown over and over again that they do not know how to run. They say unify. Unify behind what? An unbelievable record of failure. No, I do not unify behind the wrong strategy, the clearly losing strategy. I do not unify behind failure. Instead, we will be strong, we will be progressive, we will not be hooked on corporate cash, and we will fight back. We will fight against the establishment Democrats, and then we will fight the Republicans, and we will destroy them. JusticeDemocrats.com. You know who's going to stop Trump, stop the establishment, stop the corruption? You are. You help us hire new investigative reporters, and we will unleash it on them. TYTnetwork.com/go. Let's build the best journalism team in America.